I'm lopsided.
Lacey just revealed something about her little studio room that I didn't know, but we'll keep it a secret. Oh, she's revealing it.
There's a
It's
sneak
not
peek.
a secret anymore.
It's a sneak peek. These are doors. It's like
These are doors. It's not a wall. What are we gonna do about it?
those behind the scenes of the like studios of them filming TV shows, and none of it is what it actually is in the camera. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
super
our
weird
house.
every time. It's like always super trippy. I mean, a lot of things can look different on camera. Like, I don't know. I feel like I end up seeing like other people like do like film a more wide shot of certain YouTubers, and I'm like, wait, I didn't know he was that tall, or like whatever. It's because whenever they just do like just talking to a camera with just their face or whatever, it's hard to get a feel for how like big or small people are and stuff like that. It's interesting. Welcome back to the Mister
Welcome back. Oh wait, and the sister.
podcast. She butchered it again. No, I guess the first time she's ever butchered it.
You
Can't
can't
speak
even say
today.
it. So
Yeah, I can't say it. I'll never be able to say it. Moving on. Um, so deep breath.
Ooh.
No, I'm just excited because long story short, I had a meeting today at work that I had to wake up early for. Basically, got no sleep though, and went to the meeting exhausted, knowing that after the meeting was gonna have to work tonight, and it was the Lord above telling my boss to tell me to please let this man go home. She came up to me and was like, "Do you?" Well, not do you. She actually was just like, "Hey, you can go ahead and clock out too," because a lot of the like day shift people were leaving because it was time for them to go. So, and the meeting it was supposed to last 2 hours. It lasted like 1 hour. And then lo and behold, like I'm just sitting there in the corner of the room on my phone. And then she's just like, it's like, "Hey, Travis, you can go ahead and clock out too." I was like, and I thought she was confused about like if I work or not. And I was like, "Oh, no, like I work at 10 tonight though." And she was like, "Oh, no, that's okay. Like I'm giving you the night off." And I was just like, "Oh," like I just didn't even know what to say, and I thanked her for just like some other stuff that's been going on with work that she fixed. But anyway, don't do that. I am running on zero hours. Okay, so you don't got the right to yawn in front of me. Okay. She's like, "I'm gonna do it like 6 more times during this podcast." But so I'm excited because we were supposed to record tomorrow, and I hit up Lacey and was like, "Hey, like we're recording earlier than ever, so let's do this." And she agreed, which you could have said no, but you said yes. So and I'm off tomorrow, so it's this good feeling of like, okay, one thing done and out of the way. And Sherlock is deciding to meow right now, of course. I'm gonna kill him. Anyway, do you want to talk about a little bit of your week? I have some stuff to talk about with my week, but you can go first if you want, or if you don't, then I can go first.
It is only Tuesday, so my week has been 2 days long.
Look at you with your regular schedules.
Yes. But surprisingly, my week has already been crazy because I was just started this new job, as y'all know, and the person who was training me decided to quit. Almost knocked my setup down.
That would have been spectacular.
Yeah. So now everything that she was working on.
Oh my god, no way. Not into your first story, bro.
I'm sorry. Everything she was working on is now on me, so now I'm doing double the job, which is fine. Because, fun fact about my job, that's not a fun fact, I already sold job, but I have my office at work, and then I'm also have to go out and visit people. which I love doing. I love being out. My day goes by so much faster. I'm just driving, listening to music, doing my thing. It takes like 15, 20 minutes to go to people's house, ask them the questions, look at what I need to look at, and get out of there, and then I'm back on the road. I love being out, so I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about, I don't even know. Okay, anyway, I just don't like being in the office, because whenever you're in the office in front of a computer all the time, I'm not going to say I don't like it, I just would prefer to be out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do it. That was me preventing another
She was
yawn.
thinking about it.
Anyway, yeah, so I get to be out a lot the next 2 weeks. I only have 1 day in the office next week versus when I normally have 3. So it's like, yeah, that's kind of my week. Tomorrow I get to go out. Mondays and Wednesdays I go out. My favorite days. But I mean, if you're driving and then like, I'm sure you know what I mean. Whenever you're busy, then
You we gotta count 3.
We gotta do some kind of parody for that. Like, we have to pause every time I yawn or something, and you have to do some kind of cool edit. Yeah.
If I feel like doing the edit, then yes.
Yeah.
I won't feel like it.
Have a yawn count. Right.
It's like when Jimmy here will say like editor, because you know he has however many editors. He's like, editor, put this here, and then it's just a black screen that says no. Like I love stuff like that. Where it's just like cuts to like the editor is just one big fu. Like nope, not doing it.
Yeah, see, we're the editors, and
I'm the editors. Don't pretend you haven't edited one podcast.
That's what I meant. Like, you're the editor. Like, I was saying, we don't have editors.
Editing in the way of like, you mean like hoping to God we have no interruption or anything that I have to cut out, and then I could just like, cause you know I do a little bit of it, you know, where it's like I've got the music now. I try to put in like a really kind of, what do you call it? A clip that's like from the middle of the podcast somewhere, something that's like really like will grab your attention, and put it at the beginning. Just like every podcast in the world, we're not any different than anybody else when it comes to that, but it works. And I like that we have an intro now. But continue on with your story, for the love of everything. Do you remember what it was? If you yawn one more time.
Listen. Okay. Maybe it's the light. I don't know what's making me yawn. Anyway.
You're tired. It's 7 p.m. for you, like 8 p.m., so.
Like, it's not for you. Like, you're talking about, like, we're in different time zones. It's 7 p.m. for you.
Yeah, but you literally get up early, so.
Yeah. I get up at, I think I woke up at, 5:30 this morning, and I tried to go back to sleep. Didn't work. Yeah, so what I was just saying is I like being out versus being in the office.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Alright, well, you guys have a great one. Thank you for watching, and we'll... Oh my god, he will not shut up, bro, and it's literally the most inconvenient time. Like, he has not meowed, well, as far as I know, while I've been gone, but, like, he has not meowed like that in such a long time. He has separation anxiety, and, but anyway, I'm not gonna make the episode about cats like we did one time.
I'm just gonna say right now, if my cat hears your cat, then we're gonna have a meowing contest.
Why'd you raise your hand like we're in school? Like, what is going on?
I raised my right hand and I'm swearing that if your cat hears my cat meow...
Teacher! Teacher, please. Yeah. Please, like, I'm the straight A student. Like, there was always that person that loved to be in the front row for some reason.
You know, I love those people because I never had to raise my hand or talk.
That too, but yeah, okay, we'll leave it at that. But,
Tell me your story, because I also have another story.
Okay, well, I'm just really excited because my brakes almost went out, and,
Oh!
And, like, okay, I say that because, my car recently, let's just to backtrack a little bit, has been doing a shout out to anybody that has car issues right now. Like, I feel your pain. I've been through it. But not in the way of like it's not drivable. It just like for the past little bit, and we've mentioned this in the podcast a few times, that before I got the full time job that I have now, and thanks to Lacey's training, me and her at points in our in our time, like it's freaking like we're 1,000 years old or something. A little while back, we were door dashing pretty much in parallel around the same time. And I blame DoorDash for this just because, like, I think it obviously put a lot more mileage on my car because I went from like working retail and only literally driving back and forth like in like 5 minutes to like all of a sudden a whole lot. But long story short, I've had my car for like 6 or 7 years now, and I've never changed the brake pads. And no telling how long. It's like, but and no, you were trying not to yawn. That's what it was.
No, I was fine.
No, but I have never changed the brake pads or the rotors, and I was kind of curious after this whole experience, like I wonder how long, like, because it was a used car when I got it, and so that's been like 6 or 7 years ago, like I said. And I wonder if they're the original brakes, because I mean maybe not, but I mean it's a really good car in decent shape. Like it didn't even seem like it was used. It just like I have a tiny spot on the windshield that's cracked, like a rock hit it or something, and now I have like two more, but that was like during my time of using it. So like I kind of started out with a crack that they didn't tell me about, but it's not like anything intense. But anyway, so I've been driving lately to work and stuff, and it's a lot farther than I used to drive, and I've been noticing like a squeaking, like that's not even like when I'm braking, but is definitely happening when I'm braking as well. And I've noticed it, and I'm a procrastinator. Okay, I put things off. I do that a lot, and I'm working on it as my whole like soul searching and like trying to. Well, it's like I am an adult, but I have a lot of growing to do in certain areas of my life that I feel like I'm trying. Everybody does, of course. Everybody has to grow in some way, in some area of their life. So. Is he done? Like, literally, it's, like, so distracting. Like, I can't. He's not done. Like, the fact that, like, you can hear it tells me it's so loud. I have a really good mic, and that's why. But it's like, bro, Ashley is trying to sleep, and she's going to be asleep a few more hours, and I can guarantee you that he's already woke her up, like, at some point. And it's going to be kind of on me if I don't shut him up.
I'll let him in the room with you.
God, he'll be into everything. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, I've been having this squeaking on my car whenever I brake and stuff. And I've kind of and I was wondering, is it even my brake pads? Because, like, it can happen. It was happening even if I wasn't braking. So the other day, it happened pretty loudly. And sidebar, another problem I have right now is I cannot roll down my driver window. Don't know why. So that's a later fix. After getting all this fixed, I'm like, I'll put that off longer. Who cares about the window? Just anybody that I go and like go to Seven Brew or something, I have to awkwardly open my door and apologize. Like, I'm just like, I'm sorry, this is weird, but anyway. So, really loud squeaking, and like it happened really loudly the other day where I was like, is this the moment? Are my brakes going out? Because I just been putting it off, and so nothing really happened or anything. I just made the conscious decision on Monday morning after I got off work. I was just like, I told Ashley, I was like, look, like, I think I'm just gonna stay in town. I was like in the Walmart parking lot, and I'm gonna wait till 8 a.m. Because that's when that place that you recommended opens. Call them immediately and see what this squeaking is that I've had for like quite a little while. And lo and behold, he comes back after checked for like a little while and everything, and they do a free check before they have to. You can allow them to do anything or whatever, which is nice. I loved that it was like a free check. So before asking if you'd like us to proceed, he was like, "Yes, it is recommended that you get new brake pads and rotors." Which those of you that don't know what a rotor is, I literally just learned that word the other day when I was doing research before going there. I didn't know what the thing that the pad sits on, the actual brake. It's kind of like it's the brake itself or whatever, but the big metal part of your tire on the inside. I'm probably saying it wrong, but rotor, yeah. So like
Yeah.
anyway, do what?
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say something at the end.
Hello, but no, yeah, and so I was like, just on the front because I only have a certain amount of money to spend on this. And he was like, oh, yeah, it'll be under the amount that I said. And so, and this is like a really highly recommended place and everything. And I didn't even know that they would do like brakes and stuff, but I looked online before going and they do like brake replacement and everything. But he's like, yeah, it is recommended. Do you want us to proceed? And I was like, yeah, like, because going in, I wanted to just get new brake pads, but I knew, like, doing research, if the rotors are rusted, then it's not going to really matter. I mean, you can put new brake pads on it, but it's not, like, it's just not, it's recommended to just, like, I thought of it as just, like, an investment. It's like, okay, like, I won't have to deal with this for a very long time if I just pull the plug on this. And it wasn't, like, a stressful, like, oh, it's like, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, I knew I should because I've been thinking, this is why I haven't been hitting the interstate and, like, visiting, like, other family and stuff like that, is just because I've just been kind of low-key anxious about my brakes going out, just wondering how much longer they have, because I figured, like, okay, the squeaking's got to be that. And it's funny, before I even went there, I'm all over the place with this story, but like, before I went to the place, I found a YouTube short that I could not believe it. Like, I was doing a bunch of research of what the sound could be, and I really started narrowing it down from all these videos. And, like, you know, you can get lost in the sauce, like, oh, misinformation and stuff. And there's all these different, I found out how many freaking mechanic YouTube channels there were, by the way. But there's a lot of guys that know a lot about cars, and shout out to them for, like, giving us all this information. But, like, there was a YouTube short that was just a dude, like, filming, like, up and down, like, just his, like, the rest of his car. Like, so he's, I guess, driving, but sticking his phone where it shows, like, the behind his car or whatever.
Sorry.
Huh?
I said the bravery.
The periphery. But yeah. And, like, it basically in the title said, if your brake pads are doing this, like, what was the title? It was like, are your brake pads making this noise? And it was the exact sound, exact to a T sound. Whereas, like, you would think, oh, different cars, it could be a different kind of sound or whatever. No, it was exact. And it just basically really freaked me out, like, because I was leaving work, and I was planning to go home and everything, and, like, it was louder than it had ever been. And so I kind of started driving a little slower, because I'm like, is this it? Like, is this the moment or whatever? Because, like, if your brakes go out, you know, you're going into the person in front of you or whatever. And so I just made the conscious decision on an early Monday morning to get it done. And I was, like, the first person at that shop, and, like, because it's, like, a first come, first serve place, and very professional. They got it done in, like, 2 hours. And let me tell you, like, just this feeling, and I think any of you can relate to this if you've had something done on your car. that like is like you've put off, or it's just something, or just something suddenly happens. Like I know, like shout out to Ryan, I know he's in the past, over the past few years, had some like car trouble where he had to get a bunch of stuff fixed in his Dodge like at once, like a really big, like my price on this, like small compared to what he had to deal with. But like pretty much everything in his car was broken. And like but it's, yeah, anybody that has had to deal with that, like, this feeling of like when you get it fixed, it's just like a weight off of you, because now I feel like comfortable with like the idea of like if I want to do DoorDash on the side or whatever, I'm not like as anxious. Like the only thing I can say, like this, I'm kind of rambling about this, but I want like people to take away, like, go with your gut on everything. Like I know that technically nothing happened where I learned a lesson or whatever, but what I asked him when I was checking out 2 hours later, I was really tired and I hadn't slept yet or whatever, and I was like, but I knew I had to ask him. I was like, just be honest with me, man. Like how bad was it where I was gonna be running into some real issues? And he was like, oh, real bad. Like, and so I just like was like, dude, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm glad I made the conscious decision to get it done, even though like I did work the next day and I was super tired and everything, but like I just knew like there's no better time. Like I'm just going to keep putting it off if I don't. And I know it sounds like something so simple or whatever, but like I'm a very anxious person, and Lacey completely relates to all this. Where like even the slight problem with your car or whatever, you start thinking about like the stuff that doesn't even exist, or like, or whatever. Like I know you had like a problem with your car, like doing that jerking thing or whatever that you had to get looked at or whatever. But like when you get the thing fixed, there's just nothing. It almost sent me into like a what else can I fix? Like it got me almost excited, like to like just get that feeling taken care of just like. But right now it's in a state of like, other than the window, my car's in good shape, and like, well, and the thing with the battery, like about a year ago or whatever, the main reason I had to borrow Lacey's car for like a month was because of my battery issues. And then when I got that fixed and my car was running like new, I was like, bro, like, just that was that feeling. But then this is that feeling again, happening again. So I just gotta do a better job at like upkeep with my vehicle, like just because it's a good car. It's a 2014, so that seems kind of old now, but like I mean, it runs really well. Just like I know as it gets older and as things age, it's just gonna keep having these issues. So I'm wondering, original rotors and original brakes. Maybe. And he also said, which I didn't know, so I was like learning a lot of information all in one day. He said, if you can replace, he worded it like this: if you replace your brake pads and rotors like even 3 times, you could do it like 3 or 4 times before having to do the backs. So that's why he was only worried about the front, because the backs apparently weren't bad. And I would have thought like they all aged the same or whatever, but it's apparently the fronts that get the most wear and tear, which that makes sense. But I like looked inside afterwards with my flashlight and was just like, oh, yep, that's a new rotor, like this brand new, like silver, like disc or whatever. And I don't even want to know what the others looked like. I'm not a car person, and I don't know a lot of Kevin, probably being as young as he is, would probably know a lot more about cars than even my 30-year-old self. But I'm always willing to learn more, and I learned actually a few things that day. And but yeah, I'm kind of just like venting that feeling of just like all the relief of like, I feel like I can just go anywhere and do whatever now because of not that I couldn't before. It was just this anxiety about driving. So I really only stuck mostly to like driving to work and back, and then taking Ashley's car otherwise. So yeah. And I know you can relate to that a lot with your car issues, and your car's even older than mine.
We just replaced the brakes and rotors on Kevin's car, too.
Nice.
And this weekend, we finally, after 5 years. This is gross. I know. 5 years of my sunroof leaking. We finally fixed it.
That's actually a funny story for them then.
Yeah.
When I did borrow Lacey's car for like a month, I had a battery issue, and it was just dead at the old apartment. And so I needed a way, and I only worked like 5 minutes away, but I really needed a way to get back and forth to work without, anybody having to take me or whatever. But my amazing sister let me borrow her SUV.
Very old car.
Very old car, and it's just funny because I think back to that of like how I borrow it's like I'm telling you guys, like God's timing is everything, because everything was perfectly timed. I had the issue. Lacey let me borrow her car, but then like when I gave it back to her, it was like a month or two later, then you had issues. Like it ran fine for me, with the occasional, like, it definitely felt old to drive, but like I was only going back and forth. And the irony being, like, we got that one snow that year, and I was like out there like freaking having to go to work the next day, taking the ice chipper on your windshield and stuff, and also thinking like, this better not shatter her windshield completely. But
completely, like it's already
like yeah, just like completely, like, because you had that big crack or whatever in it, and I was just like, whoosh. But to the story, while I borrowed her vehicle for a month, there was a couple times of where I worked, like I would go to break or whatever, and it would be raining. Like, rain happens, normal thing, and like I did not know what was happening at first, but I'm just driving, and then there's just water. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. If you like take a cup of water and just like barely drip it out, that's what it was like. Like, it was a good stream, but not like a lot, but it was enough to be so startling because you're just suddenly getting really wet.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? And so it would do it in different parts of it too, because like one part was like on the passenger, and then one time it got really good on me even while driving, and so I'm like trying to focus on driving, but also I'm getting like soaked, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. But I think I had texted you like, hey, I didn't know this was a thing, which was whatever, because obviously even if it had no roof, I probably would have borrowed it because I just needed it. But like
yeah, we got it, and we shampooed out my car. Very good for the first.
Oh yeah, I saw your post about that. That was actually like a really sweet post, because like I kind of forgot it was your Nana's, and
yeah, because I've been having people tell me to just sell it, and it's not happening.
Yeah. At this point, it's like, just take that bad boy to the end. Like, literally, just take it all the way to the day that it's just like done.
So yeah, but I will not sell that car. We gave it a really good bath, and then I totally forgot to talk about the pod, or update the pod on this. I woke up Saturday morning, and Kevin had to work Saturday, and there was water all over our floor. Our fridge was leaking. The water line busted to the fridge. Like, you have an ice maker too. So like, there's a water line that you hook up so that ice maker work. Yeah, either the cats broke it, or I don't know what happened, but because you can get behind the fridge. So that happened, and we also bought a washer and dryer this weekend, which was great until that also flooded the kitchen as well. Our drain line, our house is older. It was built in like the 80s. So it's not super old, but it's older than like your house. The drain, so whenever you hook up the washer and dryer, then there's the cold, the hot, and then there's a drain line that leads to outside, like the pipe. That pipe is clogged, so whenever the washer goes to the drain part, then water just starts flooding everywhere. So the plumber's coming in the morning to come fix our drain lines. Because whenever the washer starts draining, water starts going down the drain. It can't go down the drain, so then it starts shooting up out of the sink, and then while it's shooting up out of the sink, the toilet won't flush. So we have a severe plumbing problem at our house.
So can y'all even use the toilets?
We can't. No, it's only whenever the washer is draining because the water's trying to go somewhere because that one pipe is clogged.
Mm.
So it starts going down the toilet pipe and then it also starts going into the sink. So it's like it's weird. It's just we just got to get our pipes cleaned out pretty much
Yeah.
because they haven't been used in a while. Um, since we've only lived in this house for 3 months, and we haven't had a washer and dryer since then. Like we just go laundromat. Um, but yeah, and Angel, y'all say a prayer for her. I'm so scared. I don't want to do it. Angel
What?
getting fixed on the 29th.
Hey, there you go.
I made the appointment yesterday. I do not want to do it.
Why?
My
Why?
heart,
But why don't you want to do it?
because I am scared for her to go through like a surgical procedure and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
then she
I thought I was just assuming you were like kind of maybe nervous about how she would be after.
I am because they said that she has to be have a cone on her head and then
Oh yeah,
she has to be away from Ollie for 2 days.
yeah.
Like I have to separate them, and I don't know how. There's fuzz or something flying around.
That happens when the light is like it's like it's always there, but now you can see it.
Yeah, dude, it's cat hair. um,
Um,
but
it's
yeah,
like Angel knows you're talking about it, so she's like, just send them up.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
no, yeah, it's a normal thing. It is. I will. Yeah, it's a little bit emotional. I remember like Ashley cried. I mean, this is. I mean, it's a little different with dogs. It almost feels more personal. Like I think we just were used to like the feeling of like getting your cat fixed. I mean, it's kind of this scary thing. Like those of you that are not really pet owners and stuff won't really relate to this, but like you could probably try to keep an open mind of like just like when you like get an animal fixed, like it can almost feel like sending a son or daughter to like get like a surgery. Like it's kind of. So I remember I felt really bad for Ashley, and sometimes I think about this and it just makes me sad of like how tired I was. Like I was trying to go to sleep, and then Ashley called me crying. Like whenever she went to the appointment to get Pep fixed, and it's just funny because like that was when we had to. I don't remember why. Oh, I guess the leak in the bedroom. Yeah. So like we had to sleep in the guest bedroom during that time. So it was like a big mixture of like Pep's getting fixed, she's coming home with a cone, and we're trying to sleep in this small bed. Um but so like Ashley called me crying, and like and I understood why, and I was like, babe, it's normal. Like, I mean, she understood this. She was just emotional in the moment, like kind of breaking down of just like, because it is kind of, it's a sad thing to just like drop your dog off and be like, all right, take your knives and like do the,
I just
you know.
want to be there with her the whole time. They said that I have to drop her off at 7 a.m. and pick her up after I get off at 4:30, and that's like a
Mm,
long. If y'all don't know, me and Angel are like really close. Like
yeah.
Angel is my cat.
I
So
mean, you can, they'll probably update you. Like, that's what they did for us. Like, and just
yeah,
kind of, they just like
and
immediately let us know when she came out of surgery and was like, she did great. And like, they know what they're doing. They know what
yeah.
they're doing.
Um, and they also said that she could grow in size after she gets fixed. I didn't know that was a thing with cats. Like sometimes they get bigger after they get fixed. Um, and Angel's just my tiny angel, and I
I
don't
think
want
she'll always be. She's just like a small boned cat. She's just like a small cat, just at all. Like, and that's hard to explain. But like, just not like in weight. She's just generally like. She's basically like a kitten, even though she's an adult cat.
yeah.
But but yes, like you'll probably not like it, but she will probably gain weight, but it won't be immediate. Like you'll just see it gradually happen.
Also said that I have to go buy her a collar and get her used to wearing that because she doesn't have a collar. I think I bought her when she was a kitten. She didn't like it, so she's gonna have I'm gonna have to
She'll
zip
get
tie
used
the
to it.
phone to her head, like to her collar is what they said. She's like, she's gonna try to tear it off. Thankfully, she's getting fixed on a Friday, and then I have Saturday and Sunday off, so I'll be with her
Yeah.
those 2 days because I wasn't doing it any other way. I'm not gonna. They were like, can you just leave her in the bathroom while you're at work so she doesn't see the other cat, like they don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, can we do Friday because I don't want to leave her alone.
Yeah. Just keep an eye on her because last thing you're gonna want to do is like her just go crazy enough to get the cone off.
Yeah,
And then she'll be immediately biting at her stitches because I can understand because the stitches they itches. No,
yeah,
they do itch, and like I always feel bad for animals, but it's like you just gotta do what you can to make sure they get it to take
yeah.
away. Like Pep, like with the freaking after she got fixed and everything, like she ended up like we got to a point where we could take the cone off and the stitches were healed enough. We just were keeping a super sharp eye on her while like watching movies or playing games or whatever. We would just like have Pep on the couch and just like I felt so bad because like Ashley went to work one night and then lo and behold I look over and like Pep had ate her stitches.
Mm,
But it was luckily already completely healed. It was just a little bloody.
yeah. Do
And
they
that
bleed
freaked
after?
me out. They
Uh,
bleed. It would just have to heal a little bit, but yeah, when she took them out herself, like there was a little bit of blood, but there was no like it was like a wound. She wasn't there was no like opening. Like it's not like she actually ripped it open. Now if that would have been
I
early
mean,
enough, but we should have just like we both agreed after that we should have just kept it going on her for a little bit longer. But
after like they get out, like, say, would she bleed without messing with them, just like bleeding from it?
um it's hard to say. I mean maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
I'll just have to
yeah.
ask because I want to keep her in my room, but I also don't want her like bleeding on my bed. Like if it's gonna be a lot of blood, so
Yeah.
um,
Not a lot. It won't be a lot.
yeah, um, but yeah, we still have a few weeks, but I'm nervous for her. I don't know if she's been doing this thing where she growls at random people. I don't know why she started doing that. Um, or no, it's not growling, it's hissing. She's not a dog. She's a cat, by the way. She just she hisses at people. I don't know why. She'll hiss at me if I tell her to get off the counter and like give a little jump at her, and I'm like, get off the counter. Then she starts
I
hissing
think
at me.
she'll calm down after that.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of hormones involved with not being fixed. Um,
Hmm.
so
Yeah. Yeah, that's the agenda for the week, or not for the week, for the month. I have to get you fixed. Oh, you want to talk about my birthday?
yeah.
Um, I didn't know any of this until now, but and his Kevin and my friend have surprised me, kind of. It's not like a full plan yet, but we were talking about going to Orlando. We were talking about going here and there. We can't get a rental car at 18 or 20, but 18. They most of them want you to be 21. Um, and most of the hotels also want you to be 21. So we were having trouble finding reasonably priced rental cars and hotels not being 21. I guess they just charge more, which I get it because you're renting to like people who are 18 to 20. So parties and not safe driving and I understand. Um, so I did online school all of middle school, and I think that I've mentioned that on here before. But I met two their sisters, are my closest friends, or one of them named Jasmine, and she's flying to Arkansas for the first time.
Hmm.
Um, and we're gonna meet in person, which is crazy. It's like we used to play video games together and talk and all that kind of like talk every day, FaceTime every day, video call, like from the time we were like 10 until now. Like as we've gotten more like grown and become adults, then we talk less than we used to, obviously. But we're gonna meet in person for the first time. She's gonna be here for 5 days, which is crazy. Um, so that's kind of my birthday plans. And let me tell you, she's never seen like she's from Orlando. Um, Never been on a mountain. Never seen like the town over a mountain ever.
Yeah.
Um, all she sees is palm trees. She doesn't get to see nature. She has never seen snow. Like, and she's talking about permanently moving closer to us. Um, so
I guess
she's
she'll get a feel for it for those five
yeah.
days and then be like, oh, or she might not like it.
She
But,
is so tired of Florida. She said, "I want all 4 seasons," and I'm like, "Well, you'll definitely get that here." She's like, "I just want to see nature and something other than palm trees all the time." She's like, "I just want color." Like, yeah, I mean,
and there's yours. I thought it was mine at first.
no, it's mine plus Kevin snoring.
I didn't hear that part, but I heard the meows.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's exciting. I mean, there's people like I have long distance friends that I consider literally like brothers
Yeah.
that I want to meet one day. It's just about taking the time. But I truly believe you can like some older people and stuff. Some people don't like your internet friends like that's not real and all this. Like you don't. It's a different time. Like we can.
Yeah.
Like especially like some of these friendships I've had is literally over a decade,
Yeah.
and I consider them like we've talked on like Xbox parties or on the phone or whatever about like literally like they know everything about me and I know everything about their life. Like that is shared, of course. But like
Yeah.
I mean like they've shared like a lot, like like marriage shared, like just stuff. Like
Yeah.
I have a couple friends that are a married couple with kids and stuff like that. I mean, we have talked about like there's nothing like anytime any of them apologize for like it's like oh sorry I just farted or something. I'm like, dude, like we're at a point where who cares? Like I've told one of those friends before, I have literally pooped and talked to you on the phone. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not. Like, we just have that kind of friendship.
Yeah. But we're super excited. Like, it's crazy to think that we've been friends that long and never met in person. Um, but yeah, I guess you can call her my long distance internet best friend.
Yeah.
Now you're yawning. Now you're gonna make me yawn.
Yeah, but just like it's a combination of like me not having sleep yet, but also like it's just so dang hot in this room.
So yeah, it's hot in here too. Um,
Like I wanted to turn on the fan. I do it for stream. Like I'll turn on the fan because I can't take it because I'll stream for like 4 to 5 hours of stream and it's just like I can't like just sit in the heat. Plus, it like I don't know what it is like, and I've always been like this, but heat genuinely affects my energy. Like if I'm cooled off and nice and like it's crisp, but like and kind of that feeling of awakeness. Like it's interesting how I can't fall asleep unless there's like a decent airflow and cool air on me, but yet the warmth and the heat like makes me sleepy. I think that's natural for everybody, but
yeah,
like it just sucks the energy right out of me. And so I've got to figure out like one day because we have a ceiling fan and like just I won't go into this too much, but like we bought this house and then knowing going in it didn't have any ceiling fans anywhere, but it's our house so we can install ceiling fans. We're gonna have someone we know help us with that knows more about it. And next is to get a ceiling fan for this room because I need it. Like just I think even just the fan on being like on the lowest setting would make just even the slight difference of airflow because it's just lucky enough in the winter for streaming I was okay just because like it would be cold so I'd be like wide awake and like have energy with like coffee and stuff like that, but like coffee isn't helping this, it's just hot.
yeah,
And so but it's also warming up. Like those of you listening that like live like around I know the some of places like I don't know what Florida actually is like right now, but I know they have extremely hot summers.
Hmm.
But I mean down here as well, like when it starts to like I think it's really just not being used to it. When spring hits, it's like all of a sudden like oh it's so muggy, and then it's not even the actual summer yet, and then you just all of a sudden get hit with all this. And like I've never liked summer for that. I don't like sweating and I don't like being hot. The only good thing about summer is weight loss opportunity because all you gotta do is go walk outside for a little while and and then you just sweat out all this weight. Like it happens to me every year. I always lose a few pounds every time summer hits and I like walk the dog.
Yeah. But low battery. Sorry.
Low battery, please charge. We can
Yeah.
we can wrap it up because I need to take a shower and stuff like that. But
And I have to eat dinner because we still have not.
do you have anything you want to say to the people?
Get your car fixed. Stop paying.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Stop putting things off
I need
like
to get,
this guy.
my brakes are about to or close to sounding like yours. I'll admit it.
Well, the fact that they're close to you have a little bit, but like
Yeah,
I
I do.
definitely I would definitely recommend like learn from me. Don't get to the point of absolutely terrified to even drive your car.
Yeah, I only dropped
Because
it
yeah.
back.
But for me, I think it's kind of seconding what she said, but just like go with your gut on
Yeah.
things. You know when that little voice is telling you, and this is with anything in life. Whenever you're trying and doing one thing, and this little voice is and you can view it as God or whatever you believe in, like that, like just to get rid of that and do this instead, and then it's just amazing how your life goes. Like if you just listen, then all of a sudden you get these little victories. And so little victories matter up what amount up to bigger victories. I'm all about the little victories. I love that feeling of like I said, my car is fixed and stuff like that, and it's like, well, then now that opens the door for all these things. And I don't know, even just some simple things, it just makes me happy, and then feel like you accomplished something.
Yeah.
But anyway, we love y'all, and we'll see you next ep. Bye.
Bye.